today is a very exciting day for Introversion.
Very, very exciting day.
Because
it's been a long time coming.
And today is when we tell the world that the next game for Introversion is a space building game, and it is called The Last Starship.
Woohoo!
The Last Starship. We need like a jingle or something.
The Last Starship.
And this is it. We're looking at The Last Starship.
Yeah.
You can play The Last Starship at the moment. Well, some people are going to be able to play it, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. But what is it? It's
a spaceship game, mate. It's a game in which you build spaceships and then fly around the galaxy, looking for adventure. This is like the first time you play the game, starting ship. So we've got some astronauts, and they're in spacesuits because the cabin is depressurized, and we've got some resources. This is fuel. We've got some equipment in boxes. We've got some oxygen and so on, and we need to set up our ship and get it up and running.
So you could say that you need to architect your ship.
You could say that you need to be a ship architect. Should we try and do stuff?
Yes, let's do stuff.
So we already, because this is like the beginning ship and it's meant to help you along a little bit, we already have most of the equipment that we need to get the ship up and running.
Right.
So, for example, we have over here a reactor. Now, a reactor is the thing that powers our ship. So in order to install it, we can go to Construction, Install Reactor, and we can tell our men to place it down.
Our people?
I'm sorry. We can tell our
Diversity,
people
mate.
to place it down.
Yep.
So it's not doing anything because it needs fuel. Okay, we need to load fuel into our reactor before it can start generating power.
Yeah.
This is the fuel. So the fuel arrives in a sort of commoditized barrel that our people can carry. But in order to load it in, we need to use a tank loader. So if I click on Install Loader and place that next to it, like this, one of our guys will install a loader. All right, this is the device. So this is designed to take these fuel pods and pump fuel in, and then I can connect the two together with a pipe like this.
So I suppose now would be a good time to just kind of make it exceptionally clear that this game will at some point be released in alpha, but we're not even there. It's full of placeholder. Yeah, full of placeholder art.
We're not even at early access. We're so early. We're so early. We're not even early access.
I think you.
We're actually going to be in Steam Playtest, which is to say that we're going to be letting people play the game, a very early version of the game with all of its placeholder art and all of its missing assets and missing functions, quite frankly. And we're working towards the early access, but we're not there yet. Long way to go.
Yeah.
Let's carry on, shall we? Now that we have a reactor, we can actually install some propulsion engines to our ship. We've got two. Now you'll notice that these engines, you see how there's like a different view. This is like the construction, like blueprint mode, and then there's like the real world mode.
Yeah.
So in our construction mode, you can see that we've got two ports on our engine. Right? We've got a red one, which is flashing, which you can guess what that means. It means it needs power, right?
Needs power, yeah.
And it also has a yellow port, which is the same as the reactor. So these engines run off the exact same sci-fi fuel as our reactor. So if I run a pipe like so, I can connect fuel into our engines.
Cool.
And then I can connect power into our engines as well.
Yeah, because these engines, they need both. They need the power and the fuel. We've spoken about these, haven't we?
There we go. So our engines are now receiving power and fuel. They're charging up, and then they spring into life. Should we take it for a spin?
Yeah, let's drive the ship.
So to take it for a spin, I switch into my tactical controls.
Nice.
And here I can control my ship throttle.
This is the first time anyone in the world's seen this stuff, mate. I've been looking at it for months, but it still looks brilliant.
How long have we been messing with this stuff?
And tactical screen. What can that mean?
Why would you have a tactical screen?
Tactical screen in the game.
There's like different views, isn't there? Like I like this. I like the idea of there being different views on the same thing. All right, that's enough of that. Bring the ship to a halt.
All stop.
Let's build. Yeah, so we're all in spacesuits, which isn't really very comfortable for anyone.
No.
If we're honest, we would prefer to pressurize this cabin. We can do that. We can do that with an air duct.
So we need our life support system in place now.
Let's install our life support system. So let's place an air duct. And much the same as our reactor, you'll notice it's got a little blue pipe on the side. And that blue pipe.
Don't put fuel in there, mate, because fuel's yellow.
We wouldn't want to pump fuel into the atmosphere.
No.
But we probably do want to pump oxygen into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So if I connect those two together, our guys will bring over a loader, and then they will load oxygen into our loader. Right.
So is that going? Did you plug it in? I didn't see.
No, I forgot.
No, you haven't. Yeah, plug it in, mate. Come on.
Let's plug it in.
Oh,
there we go. So that's now running and oxygenating.
Spinning.
So if we bring up a little overlay of our atmosphere, you'll see that it's kind of unbreathable. Right?
Out of all of the placeholder art, this is the one that I hate the most. But anyway, I'll just...
there are several screens that I hate in the game currently. Yeah. But the idea is that it's filling up,
So those brown bars are kind of suggesting that...
It's like the oxygen level in the cabin slowly filling.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, they'll just take this... Once it's at 100%, they'll take their suits off and just leave them lying around. There we go.
There we are, yeah.
And there's our guys out of their suits. So, this is probably a good time for us to ask where we are, isn't it?
Where are we?
We're in space. We're in a star sector that looks like this. Right, here's us.
Okay, yeah.
And here's some other star systems around us.
Right.
We're only in the beginning sector, so we can't really do very much here. So we probably want to travel to one of these other sectors and see if there's anything that we can do. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to install our FTL drive, which is the last thing in our list.
Yeah.
So let's put that down and cable it up. There we go. There's our FTL drive. And those green pods that you see there are our FTL fuel. In fact, I can tell them to store our FTL fuel much closer to our FTL drive.
That would make sense, wouldn't it? Efficiency savings.
Yeah, so let's go to the sector map and let's plot a course for that shipyard, see?
Sounds interesting, yeah.
This is all random, so I actually don't know what's going to be in each of these star systems.
All procedurally generated.
Yeah, so we can go to FTL and say prepare jump, and our ship will align automatically to the correct jump angle. And then once we're there, we can on jump. Now we're in an FTL jump. So you can see that we're travelling through hyperspace. Here is us in the sector map, travelling.
Yeah.
Right. Moving from one system to another. This is a good time to do any little bit of housekeeping that you might have. Tidying up the ship, that sort of thing.
Ships away.
So we've arrived in a completely new sector.
Yes.
And as you can see, it looks exactly the same because we just don't have any. We don't have a single bit of artwork.
It's in pre-alpha playtest, folks.
There are some other little things here, like there's some other ships here.
Okay.
If you look in the tactical view, you can see that here's us in our little science vessel, and there's like a little transport ship over here that's not doing very much.
Yeah. The seeds of a future world.
The beginnings. Yeah. So there's a trade board where we can buy and sell hardware and resources. Like we've been using fuel, we've been using oxygen. We can buy those things. We can also buy all this equipment: fusion reactors, thrusters, cannons, railguns, mining lasers, drone bays, hyperspace sensors. All this stuff, it all costs money. It's all
in there for a reason, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's all expensive, and we don't have any money. So we might find a way to...
We've got 10,000 space bucks, mate.
We do, but it's not enough to buy something nice.
Yeah.
Right? We could buy a battery. It's not actually a bad idea. Let's buy a battery. So our power grid currently looks like this. This is our reactor, and it's powering our engines and our FTL and our life support system. And if I turn our engines on, you can see that the power demand of our engines goes up very high, and so our reactor spins up in order to try and meet that demand. But there's a latency, right? It takes a while for our reactor to spin up to provide the necessary 100 megawatts that our engines desire. So instead of that, instead of waiting for that reactor to spin up, we can store power in a battery.
Because that's very cool, because that would enable you to say something like, switch power to shields!
Yeah, that's right.
For future gameplay reasons.
That's right, exactly. But your reactor is always... Your reactors is likely never quite powerful enough,
Yeah.
So our power grid now, our reactor will run at full power and will fill up our battery capacity, okay, until it's full. And now, and so we now have immediate power available, even if the reactor is spooled down. So if we throttle up now, you'll see that our engines will drag their power out of the batteries, and then the reactor refills the battery at the same time.
Right.
Just interesting aside.
Yeah.
Let's go to the contract screen.
Well, we need to make some money, don't we?
Yes, we do need to make some money, because I've just spent all of our money on a battery. So,
okay.
This is the list of missions that are currently available within this star system.
Okay.
So you can see that there are some weird open contracts that don't really make sense, like a science project. There's a rescue mission that we're not allowed to do because we don't have necessary hardware. There's some mining missions. There are some civilian transport missions that we can't do because we don't have any passenger cabins.
Yeah.
But there are some that we can do. We can do these ones. So it says deliver cargo to a nearby star system. I've got 12 boxes of supplies. So they've got a lot of cargo that they want to shuttle around. The destination is within this sector in Star System 1. So this is a sector, right?
Yes.
And these are all the star systems. Star System 1 is there, right?
Okay.
NC1. So we can plot.
That's where we just were. That's where we were, wasn't it?
I think we were actually. Were we? Yeah, well, maybe we're just going to go straight back then. So we can go and accept that mission. A shuttle is en route to you now with supplies. There it is. That's a little bit of placeholder art from a game that we know and love. Don't sue us. Cargo. There we go. So I'll just give them some more cargo space. So let's align the ship. Right, so we're aligning to jump back to us. You see our sector map is now says delivery over the location. There we go. So now we're jumping back to where we came from.
With our cargo on board. Our cargo of what?
We just don't know at this point, but it's only a level 1 cargo delivery mission, so I suspect it's just a load of tools or something.
Yeah.
We click on turn in contract. We're not quite at the point yet where the cargo that we're receiving is illegal or volatile or alive or
what a good idea. I wonder if our game would support that kind of stuff in the future.
Well, it doesn't yet.
No, it doesn't. No, it definitely doesn't yet.
That's the Alpha 17 plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. And so you can see as we actually drop these off, we're actually receiving money up here in the top left where we're getting paid for our mission.
Nice.
Our mission cargo is updating, and we will receive 12,000 credits for that.
Excellent. So, if
that's
you do
quite
that...
So that's quite a simple ship. That's the first 10 minutes of the first player's game, you know?
Right, yeah.
Maybe we should take a look at the game a little further in.
Maybe we should.
All right, so I've loaded a different save game now. This is now my more intermediate ship.
What was that? You're taking fire?
So we're in a meteor. There's a meteor shower occurring in the sector.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We're actually a fleet of 2 ships. This is my large logistics ship, and I'm not going to explain what everything on board does. But we've seen some of the elements, right? You see, we've got a few more reactors now. We've got a few more batteries. You can see we've got a little drone armada that are currently launching out of our side, and we're currently mining the hell out of this asteroid with our second ship, which is entirely a powered mining vessel. Right? Its only real purpose is to have a broadside of mining lasers. So we're mining this incredibly rich vein of minerals. Our other ship is mining the hell out of it with lasers, and our primary ship is really more of a drone hub. And you can see our little logistics drones are carrying mined resources backwards and forwards.
Nice,
and our crew of 42 astronauts are taking all those mined resources. At the same time as that, we're also under an ongoing meteor shower. And so you can see all of our ship's defences are firing up and trying to destroy any meteors that get too close to us and cause us damage. It takes a little while to reach this point in the game. That's the idea. The idea is that you start small and build up and build your fleet and build your capabilities and get engaged in all kinds of shenanigans, and the sector map keeps changing and things keep happening and there's weird stuff occurring in the same system, and it's brutally early in the process, so nothing is quite finished yet.
Yeah. I think that
but the seeds are there.
So, for those that don't know, we made Prison Architect, and Prison Architect was in early access for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years in the end, I think. And the way it worked is every month we layered in an additional level of complexity, and that is our plan for this game. And we are going to go on a journey again, really, with a player base, we hope, to help us flesh the game out, the world out, the direction out. Touchstones for us are sort of Battlestar Galactica, the TV series, you know, that kind of, we want to get that sense of sort of impending doom and the last of humanity, but we've also got a Star Trek sort of almost kind of episodic objective, you know, as you go from star system to star system. You can clearly see influences from Frontier and Elite, you know, in the way the world is kind of set up. And other touchstones, I suppose, for us, Factorio, you know, we really want to go really
definitely deep. For the industry side, FTL really, for the FTL is definitely worth a big mention for the feeling of adventuring through a sector, you know, visiting different systems within a sector and going on adventures. And
I suppose we've got to cite Prison Architect as well, to a certain extent, right? Yeah. You know, in terms of the
sort of colony side.
The human simulation is not going to be quite as strong within this as it was in PA. Or that's not the right word. The focus is not really going to be on the people. The focus is going to be on the on the ships. But there are crews, there are people. We do have plans for that as well. But at the moment, it's all spreadsheets, right? Other than what you can see. And the only way we're going to get there.
They're all just plans in our head, aren't they?
That's it.
Maybe we should explain the playtest process.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big question for us is anyone going to want to play this? You know, that's the question that we're trying to answer.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so as well. But you never know.
It's not a given, no. And will they want to play it at this stage as well? I mean, it's you know, it's got a lot of. It doesn't have a tutorial. It doesn't have any help at the start of the game. You know, it's pretty brutal.
So how does it work then? How does the Steam playtest work?
Right, so you can visit The Last Starship on Steam, you can search for it, and we'll put a link in the video, and you can wishlist the game, which you should do, because then you'll receive all of the notifications that we release about the game. And there's also a button on the Steam page that says, apply to join the playtest. Okay, now if you click that, you go into our list of playtesters that have applied, and every now and then we'll bring in another batch of 100 playtesters or so, and you'll just immediately get access to play the game. If you have any feedback or if you have any problems, you can write about them on the Steam forums or on Twitter.
Did you say if you have any problems?
If you run into a bug of some kind, you know, you're free to write about them onto us through whatever I think social media channel you like best.
I think it's inevitable.
Send us an Instagram if you miming the bug.
Yeah, Instagram your bugs to us. We do need your help. We know there's lots of bugs in there, but also we're just interested in the way players play, aren't we? You know, there's just loads that doesn't even exist yet. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's like this is very early, and we've never released a game in Steam playtest because I think it's quite a new feature on Steam actually.
Yeah.
It didn't really exist with Prison Architect. And early access only existed from Alpha 10 onward. So, and that was early for us then. This time around, you know, we're really looking for early feedback on which of the different parts of the games people are most interested in, what kind of directions they like to see us move in, and it gives us a warm feeling to see other people playing the game as well.
So there you have it. Last Starship, the 7th major game from Introversion Software. You can apply to join the playtest on Steam at the moment, or like and subscribe the video to help us get the word out, and add it to your Steam wishlist. We will be back and show you more soon.